Buying, selling homes during COVID can be a little bit of a challenge. Stick around, I've got some tips. I'm Judy Mitchell with Mitchell Realty at RE/MAX Professionals in St. John, New Brunswick, and I get asked a lot of the same questions, so I'm doing a video series called Frequently Asked Questions. So for buyers, you've worked hard and saved up your deposit and it's finally time to buy a home, and a global pandemic hits. We're still showing homes and real estate continues as an essential service. So you're still going to be able to see homes, although most agents are prepared to do virtual showings, whether by Zoom, FaceTime, we can even do videos and load them for you. So you don't necessarily need to be there in person, especially if you're not feeling well. But if you are going to be going in person, there are some tips that we will ask you to follow, and I think most of them are common sense, but just to kind of put them all in one place. First, an obvious one, everyone needs to wear a mask. Even outside the home, if we're going to be within 6 feet of each other, you should keep your mask on. Inside the home, wear your mask at all times. Make sure you sanitize. I personally sanitize as I enter the house, and then I sanitize again when I get back in my car after showings. Don't touch anything that you don't need to. Most sellers are leaving closet doors open, they're leaving things open, but you will probably want to open a kitchen cupboards or something like that. I typically have a jacket on. I can put my hand in my pocket and open it with my hand through my pocket, so you can kind of avoid touching that way. We use a lot of other things like virtual signing, like DocuSign, that type of thing, so that we're not touching paper and passing paper back and forth. Electronic signatures are a lot more sanitary. Sometimes agents will ask you to fill out a COVID form. In New Brunswick, we've had a COVID form for almost 2 years. Currently, it's not required, but some listings require it, and so if that's the case, then we will ask you to sign that form. Then there's some basics that I would say you should do regardless of whether COVID is happening. Things like don't bring coffee into someone else's home. It's as much as I'm sure you don't normally spill it, there's always a chance of an accident. And don't use the bathroom in people's homes. Stop at a gas station on your way or go to the washroom before you leave home. Being on time is really critical at this point. Because there's so many showings, typically we're getting about 30-minute showings, sometimes only 15. If you're not on time, you could actually have to cross paths with other sellers other buyers. So it just makes it a little more challenging. So be very aware of the time aspect of it. Expect to remove your shoes. Some people will bring shoe covers. Other people will bring just a pair of socks they just slip on if they're just wearing sandals. But just be aware that most houses you're going to remove your shoes. And obviously, you're not going to go to any showings if you have any symptoms. And there is a chance that we may be asking you for proof of double vaccination, which is required by some sellers. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about viewing homes as a buyer. It's kind of always changing in St. John, but we're trying to stay as current as we can with the government recommendation. And selling your house during COVID-19 has been a bit more of a challenge, but again, we can work around it. The real estate agents are doing a lot of Zoom showings and a lot of video showings. And so we can be in and out of your house fairly quickly and cause as little disturbance as possible. But whenever possible, it's great if you can leave your home during showings. Just not having extra people there is nice. If you have concerns, why don't you walk around after showings with a Lysol wipe or sanitizer and just wipe down doorknobs, cupboards, handles, that type of thing, just to be sure that no one's touched anything. And if you have concerns or if someone in your family is immunocompromised, feel free to request that everyone who enters your house is double vaccinated. You have that right, it is your house. And we can get confirmation of double vaccinations from our buyers and send it to your listing agent. And the most important one is please cancel showings if you have any symptoms. As much as I know that you've got the house ready and it's a lot of work and you're anxious to get the house sold, any symptoms that you have are not worth risking the health of the buyer, the health of the buyer's agent, and anyone else. We can postpone the showings until you're feeling better. If you have any questions about listing your house or selling your house during COVID-19, I'm happy to answer those questions. I'm Judy Mitchell with Mitchell Realty at RE/MAX in St. John, and thank you for watching our videos on frequently asked questions. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share with us, please reach out to us. We'd love to help you. And don't forget to like and subscribe.